Ooh, what is s'mores? Good question. Well, it is a lot more than just a mnemonic for providing partner augmented input, that's for sure.
So the SMoRRES Training Program is an 8-step instructional method that systematically trains communication partners, whether that's parents or school staff, on how to implement partner augmented input in the natural occurring environment.
Right. So the s'mores mnemonic is just step 4 verbal practice. It's just one step of an 8-step communication partner training program.
So coaching is a critical element in the SMoRRES Training Program, and most of the training takes place in the natural environment with coaching.
You know, when Technology and Language Center opened in 2001, way back in the day, we did more traditional type therapy where parents would drop off their child, they'd come back, and the child alone would come back into a little room with us, and we'd do therapy, and then we'd bring the child back to the parent. But it wasn't long before we realized that that wasn't really resulting in communication or AAC use out in the real world, either at school or at home.
Yeah, so we needed to do something about that. So we would do a lot of in-service trainings, whether we were training the parent or training that school staff. And even when we did those in-services, sometimes once, sometimes multiple times, guess what? We still did not see transfer in the home or in the classroom.
So evidence-based practice has been really important in our work, and so we just dove into the literature, and that's how s'mores was born. But we've done a lot of research on our s'mores training program, both in the schools and at home, and we know how hard it can be for people to just pick up a research article and then think, okay, so how can I implement this in my daily life? Which is why now we provide, as part of our level 2 training, a manual with all of the forms that people need to implement. We provide a slideshow that they can use to train families and their teams. And we also provide a DVD so that if, some school staff, for example, miss the initial training because they're hired after the year begins, they can do asynchronous learning as well. So that is our story.